Hi there, Year 6, and welcome to this week's maths learning. This week, we're going to start looking at some geometry, which I really love. So I'm excited to share this with you. So we're going to review some of the things you will have looked at in Year 4, and you may have looked at in Year 5, but you perhaps may not have done because it may have been when we were in the last lockdown, unfortunately. But we're going to do a quick review for this lesson and then move on with our learning later on in the week. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to shout out at the screen, what is an angle? What is an angle? Tell me, shout out. I can't hear you, louder. Okay, thank you. So you're right. An angle is a measure of turn. I'm going to come on to this in a moment. So what unit of measurement do we use when we measure angles? Shout it out at the screen. I can't hear. Yes, okay, yeah, I heard you that time. Yes, you're right. We measure angles in degrees. So what I'd like you to do now is you're going to stand up in front of your screen, whatever screen you're using, and I would like you to turn 90 degrees to the right. Okay, so you should be turn 90 degrees to the right. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to do this with you. Okay, so 90 degrees to the right. We're going to turn 90 degrees to the right. Okay, I'd like you to turn 90 degrees to the left now. Okay, 90 degrees to the left. Now, I would like you to turn 180 degrees from the screen. Okay, 180 degrees from the screen. Okay. Yes, so you should be facing away from the screen. Okay, can you turn 180 degrees again now? Okay, and now what I'd like you to do is you're going to stand up and you're going to turn facing the screen 360 degrees for me. Turn 360 degrees. Yes, so you should be facing back at the screen now after your 360 degree turn. So starting to come flooding back now, thinking about degrees of turn and measuring turn with our angles. So you've just created some angles. You just created a 90 degree angle, which is also known as a right angle. You did your 180 degree turn, which is on the straight line, and then a 360 degree turn around the point. So what I'd like you to do now is think about the different types of angles that we have, the different names we have for different angles. Tell somebody at home, pause me, tell somebody at home, what are the 3 different names we have for different types of angles? Okay, did you have a chance to speak to somebody or shout it out at the screen? Yes, you're right. So I'm going to borrow this from Mr. Hampson. We have acute angles, which are less than 90 degrees. So 90 degrees is our right angle, and an acute angle is less than 90 degrees, an acute angle. And then we have obtuse angles, which are greater than our 90 degree right angle. They are between 90 degrees and 180 degrees on our straight line. That is an obtuse angle. And then finally, we have a reflex angle, which is greater than 180 degrees. Bear these in mind and we will come back to them later on in our learning. So what we'd like you to do first is, again, a little bit of a review. So we'd like you to copy and complete those sentences related to those right angles on that protractor, shown on that protractor, and make a note of how we notate a right angle. That'll be useful later on. And then we'd like you to copy and complete this table, thinking about the fraction of a turn that you make. So you could stand up and do that again to your 90 degree turn, your 180 degree turn, and then your 360 degree turn again. After that, we'd like you to think back to what we were talking about with the angles and the different types and names for angles. So I would like you to complete these sentences, looking at what type of angle is less than 90 degrees, what type of angle is between 90 degrees and 180 degrees, and finally, what type of angle is greater than 180 degrees. And then we'd like you to complete this little question. It's a little SATS question, actually. You may remember it from our SATS papers we were doing before Christmas. So there are 5 angles marked on the grid of squares, and we'd like you to write down the letters of the angles which are obtuse and which angles are acute. And we'd like you then to answer this quick question. Are any of these angles right angles? Think back to the learning you've just done and think about what notation we would use to show a right angle. Thinking about what little notation, what little symbol do we use when we show a right angle? Think back again to the learning you've just done in question 1. After that, we'd like you to watch a little video, again, a recap video, building on your learning before, thinking about finding angles on a straight line. once you've done that, you are then going to use your learning thinking about angles on a straight line to complete this sentence. So copy and complete this sentence. So you've got that statement written for when we're finding angles on a straight line. And then use that to work out the unknown sizes of these, or the sizes of these unknown angles. So we've got some different representations here, growing gradually slightly more challenging. But remember, back to this sentence, back to that statement, angles on a straight line add up to what? And that will come from that video and from the learning you've done previously. After that, you can move on again to these slightly more reasoning and problem solving based questions. Using all of the learning you've done today in that lesson, in your lesson, thinking about angles on a straight line to work out these unknown angles and to correct Alex here, thinking about what she's done wrong and give your reasoning for that. So try to explain not only what the angle, what she should have done, but where she's gone wrong, where her misunderstanding has happened. And we look forward to seeing some of your maths being sent in. All right then, speak to you tomorrow. Bye.